So we're going to be replacing the gearbox in this Cherokee today. 88 Cherokee. These things are kind of heavy. First you want to get your nut off your pitman arm. Right here. Easy. Remember your lock washer on there. Next you want to get your pitman arm remover. Alright. Well, they don't always come out that easy. But yeah. Next you want to disconnect your lines. I hear different people say they like to take them off on different sides. I think it's a lot easier to disconnect them from up here. You got one here. And you got one with a hose clamp right here. It's a whole lot easier to disconnect them from the reservoir and tighten up your lines down there on the new gearbox before you put it in, instead of trying to get down there and try to loosen them from there. So I'll try to show you how this goes. So you're gonna need a 5/8 for this one. There we go. Good thing about these older Jeeps and whatever, at least they give me a reason to use all my standard tools now, huh? How often do you get to do that? There. And see if I can get it with one hand. You're going to want to get the hose clamp. Like so, and you'll have some fluid come out of there. Still easier than trying to loosen those down there, in my opinion. Just be careful when you're taking that off. You don't want to break this plastic piece on the side of your reservoir. Sometimes if you spray like some lubricant or something like right there when it's on the plastic, so it'll make it kind of easier to slide off so you don't break that piece. Next, you're going to want to take the bolt off your steering right here. It's right at the back of the steering box. Twist your steering to where you can get to it from the bottom. Now that we got our bolt out, this is an older one, so it doesn't really want to come out. Pull the bolts that hold the gearbox on, and then we'll pull the shaft out and start putting the new one in. Now we got 3 bolts on the steering box on. You got one here, one here, and one up top. Also, you're going to want to leave these little finger tight. That way you can have your hand on it at least, so it doesn't fall out and mess your steering up or anything, your steering shaft. Alright, on your steering shaft, there's this flat spot inside of the coupler. You're gonna want to make sure this flat spot right here is about lined up where the flat spot is on the coupler, so it will hopefully go in easy. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We'll see. And also you might notice that a spacer probably fell out on you. Best way to do it, have your bolts. I just like to have them barely through so you don't knock them out of the way or nothing when you're trying to put this gearbox up in here. But you got that. Like I said, you got a flat spot in here. You see that flat spot? It's on this edge right here. So that's gonna want to be, we're gonna want to have that lined up. Take your lines off now and put them on the on your new box. Get you one in there and tighten up the rest. Probably start them with your fingers. You want to try to turn your steering, you're going to want to turn that and tighten your bolt up back through it. And really the only way to tighten it is to get it where you can put it through the bottom. Turn it until it's at the right spot. Screw that in there a little bit. Tighten that thing up. There we go. Now you're gonna want to get your cables and all that stuff up here. Or you want to get your hoses up here. I said cable, my bad, y'all. Alright, now we'll want to put our line back on there. And remember these little O-rings right here. Remember to check to see if those are on the ends and stuff. Very important if you don't want your stuff leaking. Next you want to put your hose back on. This is the plastic one, so be careful with that one. And make sure you got your hose clamp back on. Put that pitman arm up. And so that's it. We're not going to flush it, but we are going to purge all the air out of the lines and all the system. I'm not going to do the purging and all that. It's just basically refilling the reservoir and for the most part just turning the wheel back and forth till you work all the air and humming out of your steering. So that's it.